looked inwards and said, okay, well, how can we take our product and sort of benefit the businesses that need a solution like us in the current sort of environment. Hi, my name's Tom. I'm the founder and CEO of FaultFixers. FaultFixers is a B2B maintenance software for businesses that own or operate property, or the trades and services that deliver maintenance services to those properties. So they use us for their day-to-day job management, digitalizing all of their maintenance administration, all in one system, on the go and in the office in front of their laptops. FaultFixers was actually an issue that, built off an issue that I faced in the past, where when I was back at university trying to report an issue in my student bedroom or in the communal areas, it was a bit of a nightmare because we had to go down to the whole office and write it in a book, and whether you heard back about whether it's resolved or going to be resolved, no one really knew. Substantially now, a lot of the businesses operating maintenance teams and maintenance process is still very much the same. And then our first investor, who I was chatting with, his son at the same time had the same issue in terms of his post box was broken. So it kind of spitballed from there, and a few years on, we're now sort of a fully fledged business trying to help resolve those pain points right in the front of a maintenance process for their customers, and also in the back office with team efficiencies and scheduling. For FaultFixers, I spent 7.5 years working at PwC. Started off being an accountant, probably 6 weeks in, didn't realise I didn't really enjoy accountancy, but I was there for a long time, right? And then prior to starting FaultFixers, I had a short stint in VC with a London-based business. And yeah, FaultFixers or startup was always sort of a natural sort of itch or progression where I wanted to go to, and it was just meeting our investors previously. That's kind of how we sort of started it, really. Highlights of early days of FaultFixers. I'd still say it was still pretty early now, but early days was I think having an initial product, sort of even before we have a product now, and sort of working with customers to build and refine it. But like when it was sort of literally just an idea in the head, putting that from a napkin basically into an idea and see it on a screen in front of you. I think probably the best thing that I can remember was our first ever customer came from me reaching out to the CEO on LinkedIn after I'd driven past their development on the Hammersmith flyover. So a couple of weeks after doing that, just thinking, oh, we should speak to them. Ended up sort of getting a deal done off the back of that. So every day I'm hustling in a way. Yeah, I think you can't do startup without resilience and tenacity. I've worked with a lot of great people over time, but also you sort of move on and work with other people. So yeah, everyone I've worked with has been brilliant. Tough times is when you get many no's. You get a lot of no's before you get one yes. Just until we got our first customer over the line and actually started getting feedback from them, and then I remember all the really good feedbacks we get specifically from customers where they say, thanks Tom, using FaultFixers has now meant that we're changing the way we're doing things. It's made us 10 times more efficient. What we were doing before. Those kind of things make it worthwhile. Yeah, 2020 was I think it was a net positive year for the business, actually. I mean, as kind of perverse as it sounds, I think there wasn't one business that wasn't impacted by customers being pensive about making investment decisions. But on the whole, having had, I think the majority of COVID is behind us now, every business has basically seen the need to be able to do things digitally, on the go, have the ability to manage things without having to be there in person and physically. And a lot of the businesses we're working with at the moment, everything was physically within a team, paper-based, very manual-driven before. And so now, off the back of that, businesses are saying, okay, well, if COVID-20 comes along or another issue that impacts them as significantly as COVID has, we need to have a system or systems in place so that we can maintain business as usual. And that's kind of where FaultFixers is coming into being more and more relied upon with the businesses that we have at the moment, and also more and more businesses we're speaking to going forward. I think right at the beginning, when everyone was struggling with what the hell is going on with COVID, we were at the point of going, okay, well, it's not the best decision to sort of try and sell to them. So we looked inwards and said, okay, well, how can we take our product and sort of benefit the businesses that need a solution like us in the current sort of environment. So we actually, quite coincidentally, we also got funding from INNOVATE UK specifically for some of the work that we're doing in the care home sector or the social care environment, healthcare generally. So we're using our front-end technology, i.e. where customers or end users of businesses are able to report issues in a way that now they can use that technology or that feature of our platform to help reduce the levels of transmission. So if something was previously done in person, on paper, manually transferring bits and pieces, now it can be done completely autonomously or completely non-in-person or sort of virtually, shall we say, so that businesses specifically in the care sector can now do all of that without necessarily having to be in person and helping to reduce the transmission aspects. So yeah, we've got a significant grant funding from INNOVATE UK for us to try and further penetrate into the social care sector and help businesses and care homes and customers like that. Well, the INNOVATE grant has specifically gone to growing the team. So originally it was just the two of us, and now I think as of yesterday there's 6 of us full-time, 3 of us part-time. We're getting closer to 10 people. Customers have pretty much tripled in the last year, I would say. Yeah, it's given us the ability to do a lot more and a lot quicker. So yeah, we're only looking forward to sort of trying to penetrate further into the social care space and sort of, because that certainly is a market that needs the help or needs the support, right? So if we keep doing what we're doing, but also in an industry where it sort of significantly helps, tick 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 in my eyes. Yeah, sort of trebling the team size in 6 months is, I think, first and foremost, fun, especially when you get to work with really good people, and also challenging, right? I won't sort of beat around the bush. It is very difficult because you need to sort of make sure cohesion is at the center of that, make sure that everyone's happy all the time. Very difficult to achieve, but yeah, I think we've achieved a lot in 6 months. It's very exciting, and I think that the plan over the next 12 to 18 months is probably to, if all things go in the right direction, to continue doing that. So yeah, it's, you solve one problem but make another, but they're good problems to have, definitely. Remote working is tough, but at the same time, I think another benefit of 2020 means that lots of businesses have been able to go, yes, it does work for us, or no, it doesn't work for us. For us, we didn't have much of a choice. We were traveling the team whilst remote working was the only option. So yeah, at first it was tough, but everyone was used to it and everyone's understanding of it. But there's always going to be a time where an office or a base or in-person interaction with the team is a necessity to get the cohesion that you need. And yeah, we're back in an office sort of full-time, part-time-ish now, but I think having a team that understands the remote working necessities and everyone who's sort of signed up for it is definitely benefiting us. I mean, we're sort of a software business at the end of the day, so we have to be sort of using the technology to our advantages, and certainly that's the case in our internal team. And also, things like Zoom is definitely benefiting us from, when we're deploying with new customers. Everyone is used to it now, It's almost weird, like when you get someone saying, "Oh, an in-person meeting," and like, okay, well, if you want it, we can do that. But at the same time, it's adds that efficiency in both areas, in all areas of the business, really. I have a bit of a bias towards people who sort of show that startup culture, because it's tough. You need resilience and tenacity. Like I said earlier, you get 100 no's before you get one yes. So it's such an early stage where before everything is sort of process in place. This is how things are done. We're still working on those processes internally. We're still defining them, if anything. So I think having that sort of ability to understand that everything's not there. You can't be spoon-fed. It's kind of this is a challenge. Everyone's in the same challenge. How can you sort of help your contribution towards that? Is definitely the culture that we're going for. Fun, dynamic. We definitely want people to sort of speak up and say their opinions with things. I think those are the fundamentals behind it. I mean, I came from, my past was working in a large corporate where, small fish, big pond. So, it was easier to hide, where everyone has accountability in the team now, which is great because, not only is it, everyone knows what everyone's doing, it means that everyone can sort of share in the successes that everyone is achieving on a weekly, monthly basis, that kind of thing. So that kind of culture is definitely what we're after, and hopefully you'll agree that the people that we're working with all sort of possess those skills.